Why, hello everyone. Welcome to Redneck Ways. How's everybody out there in YouTube land? Oh, I hope you all stay fine and dandy. Guys, tonight, I thought I'd share this video that I came across earlier today, and I thought it was really good. It's filmed in 1973. It's about a British lighthouse and it's just fascinating. If you like old lighthouses, even if you like old radio equipment, old radios, just old things from back in the 70s, you'll enjoy this. There's so much here. So please come with me and take this adventure on the high sea. And let me tell you, it takes a special person to be a lighthouse person, so let's get into it. Hopefully, my internet is doing better. I just tried this. This is take three. I was lagging real bad. So it may lag at the very beginning, but it should straighten out. All right, let's get started, guys. Here we go, guys.
28 miles beyond Land's End, the Isles of Scilly lie low in the Atlantic, and out beyond the last inhabited island, on one of the smallest rocks in one of the most exposed positions in the world, it was necessary to build a lighthouse, the Bishop Rock Light, the last lighthouse of England before America. St Mary's Quay, Isles of Scilly. Another tour of duty begins for Assistant Keeper Roger Semmons, 27 years old, 5 years in the service.
Obviously, I don't want to go, but it's just a natural course of living now. I have a month's leave with my family. I enjoy it. But when the time comes for me to go back, there's no be weepings and I shall divorce you, go back type of thing. And just try not to regret it.
Going off onto Bishop for the first time.
All right, Terry, get him on. It's okay now. Ready?
Out on the light, Assistant Keeper Terry Johns, 13 years service.
Hold it!
The Principal Keeper at Bishop Rock Light, George Williams, 19 years in the service.
Now, to me, guys, this is kind of crazy. He is underneath there of this heavy object, climbing down the ladder with that dangling on top of his head, pretty much. Crazy. I'm sorry about lagging too, guys. Hopefully, I can get this video.
Okay, Jay, let's go home, boy.
Mr. George Hicks, local boatman, responsible for handling the relief for the past 20 years. He's known to everyone as G.
Let's go home, Jay. Okay, skipper.
No, wait!
Would you do that, guys? I think I would be to the side of it, or definitely not underneath it. You, only thing's holding it is the rope. I mean, that kind of thing coming off there, you're gone. Here's another thing. Check this out. Okay, the mom is waving bye to Roger. All right. Look at the baby. It's like they're sitting right beside the cliff. So all that little baby has to do is just lean over and it's gone. This is how they did things in the 70s. This is how I was raised. This is what I grew up in. It's amazing that any of us are still here.
How do they take us off? Do they winch the stores up first or else?
No,
And I think Roger needs to pluck the middle of his eyebrows. I have the same problem, but I keep mine plucked. The big unibrow. I have never seen one that bad.
Got on the, up on the rope first. And this is nothing to worry about. Don't worry about this. But once you get there, look out, you'll say, hell, what a way to go up, you know. But don't worry about it. We're quite safe. What happens is they get the rope from the boat, into the harness, and then they say, winch up, and just hang on. Up we go. But that's it. There's nothing to worry about. Don't get nervous.
No, ropes don't bother me anyway.
Captain of the boat is like ice, the true iceman. He's just cruising right through that water. The waves are like way over the boat. I mean, it's crazy, and he's just do 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 crazy. I mean, that it takes a certain person to do these type of jobs.
That's all right. Let's say if you look up, you'll see to yourself, hell, what a height, you know. But don't worry about it. Just hang on, boy. Just hang on.
Up a bit. Well. All right.
you might get a bit of rough sea coming in, and you're in the back of the boat getting thoroughly drenched, and old G says to you, is it a bit sloppy, boy? That's all he'll say. So no one flustered. And all the way out it's getting rougher, rougher, rougher. You're thinking to yourself, Christ, he's going to do it, He will do it. There is never a case when G said it can be done and he's wrong.
Check out those waves, man.
When you first see it, it looks just about as big as a thumb, I suppose. Very small indeed, just stuck on the horizon. And then it just gets nearer and nearer. It gets bigger and bigger. So by the time you're about a quarter mile off, it looks really huge. But after all, it is the biggest light.
And what I've been pondering is how they literally built the thing. Because if you look close where the rock is, the waves come over. I mean, I guess maybe they built like I forget what they're called, a coffin something, like a box, or maybe that's what they did. But you would think that would be very deep there. So I don't know how they would even start pouring the first any bit of the concrete. It just that would be a defeat. Just I mean, a crazy thing to even attempt in itself. Just trying to get this thing built. And I believe they said it was built in started in 1836, and I think it was 1860. I think it took about 25 years to build. And in 1973, it was 100 years old. So I don't even know if this is still there. All right, I'm sorry, guys. Let's get.
Business service. And then when you get right underneath it, it looks absolutely huge. I'll admit to you that when I first came to the Bishop, we anchored off the end of the set-off there. That was my only time on the job when I had a slight tinge of fear by looking up that height, thinking, Christ, I've got to go up there.
All right, Jake.
You're not going to believe how they have to get into the lighthouse. There's no doors, just drive up to or nothing. Wait, just wait.
Right, when you're ready. Hang on. Right, when they're ready.
Right on, when you're ready. Ah!
Right.
That one's got 40 foot there.
All right.
I guess there is quite a bit of rock exposed there. Some shots, it kind of shows, water closer up to it. Maybe the tide or something goes out or something comes in. I don't
I'm trying to, but I can't.
Tony, this is Mr. Williams. He's the principal keeper.
Hello, Mac. Nice to meet you. Hope you enjoy your stay on board.
Well, the first thought is for the safety of the people on the rope, you see. You daren't leave go, whatever happens. You must look after them, make sure they don't damage themselves once they get into the boat. It's a very precarious operation because you've got to work together with the boatman, you see. They're pulling in as you're letting go. So you have to keep your eyes on the boat all the time, you see.
laying down on the job.
Boil.
Well, here we are then in the Bishop Rock. In here we store the ropes and tackle for the landing gear. And under here is the water tank with our fresh water. And that's the pump that we use for pumping it up to the kitchen. This is the magazine flat where we keep the detonators and charges for the fog signal. Be careful when you come up these stairs.
The fog signal, it just blew my mind too when I seen it. I don't really know how it works. I'm going to do a little bit more research, but they let off charges, and I guess the ships out in the ocean hear it and know that the rocks and stuff are right there in the lighthouse. But it's on some kind of like sling or something that comes out. Y'all see it here in a minute.
Because they become very steep, especially when you're coming downwards. There's the diesel, that's for the generators upstairs. And there's the coke bunker. Here we are then, about halfway up the tower, the kitchen. Most important thing here to remember is the taps. They're not hot and cold, it's rain and fresh. The one on the right is the rainwater. Use the water from that for topping up the copper boiler on the stove. We use coke on the range, and that's kept going all the time for the watchman. There's the RT set. That's our only communication with the shore.
Old radio, ain't it, guys?
So this is where the three of us sleep. And I don't have to remind you about being quiet. Noise carries quite clearly through the tower, especially at night. Now, there's your bunk there, with the locker and drawer underneath where you can keep your personal gear. Right, now this is the sitting room. Bit cramped, as you can see, but it's nice and cosy. We've got a telly. It's mains and battery, so we're all right during the day when the gen is not running. Bookcase, quite a good selection, yeah? Quite interesting, some of those. Lockers, these are our food lockers. And then there's the plaque. Gives it the history of the place when it was first built. Started in 1852 and finished completely in 1886. Quite interesting. The fridges, 3 of them, 1 each. They're paraffin. This is yours, so don't forget to keep it topped up. Here's the service room. There's the generators. Bank of batteries there for the RT set. Now, mind your head as you come up the stairs, because here are the water tanks which collect the rainwater off the roof. This is...
Now, he's getting ready to talk about the actual lot in the lighthouse. This is unbelievable. Just the way they built things. Now, they built this in 18, what do you say, 86 was finished? Maybe it was later than that, or earlier than that. But check this out. This is just awesome. They just could be, I didn't, they was awesome back then.
what it's all about. 11 tons of glass and gunmetal. It's floating in a trough of mercury. And the lens is so well balanced that I can pull the whole thing around with one finger.
That's awesome. 11 tons. Of course, they made beautiful clocks back then too. That's pretty much what it is, like all those gears stuff.
Perfect, boy. Nice mix. Well, you had a look around. What do you think? Do you think you like it or no?
Yeah, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, well, I'd give you a week, like, and yourself settle in and...
Smoke,
Any
smoke.
problems, you know, any
Smoke,
questions
let
in
me got
action?
'em.
I
Well,
can't think of any now, but when I start doing things, I'll be thinking of plenty.
Yeah. Oh, it's a fag anyway. Work hard enough for the morning. Yeah, I say I'd give you a few days to settle down and then cook any snags, see me or the other one there.
1530. Relief effected by local boat. Coming off, R. Simmons, assistant keeper, and A. McNamara, supernumerary assistant keeper. Staying aboard, S.G. Williams, principal keeper. Putting the light in on the pressure, quite a simple thing really, I suppose. But again, simple really, if you've been doing it enough years, it becomes simple. You go through the motions without even stopping to think. You know what time the light's got to go in, and so you go upstairs 20 minutes beforehand to prepare for this. And that means putting the meths under the burners. That's to warm the vaporizers up. This takes 10, 15, 20 minutes. Then you must make sure that your IOBs, that's the paraffin and air tanks, which are always in the service room below, these have to be pumped up to the pressure.
Just like a Coleman lantern.
On this particular station, it's 70 pounds of air in the tanks, because this is what forces the paraffin up to the light itself. While the meths are warming up the burners, you go down and you pump up your air tanks to the pressure. 5-minute job perhaps, depending on how much it's got to go in. Upstairs again, the sun is probably just gone behind a bank of cloud, and time to take the curtains down. The curtains, of course, are put up every day around the lens to stop the sun's rays from striking through it. Reason being that they could quite easily cause a fire. The lens itself acting as a big magnifying glass, you see. So it's a case of taking the curtains down, folding them up, put them away neatly, and then by this time ready for putting the actual light in. Before you actually light the light, you must have your lens revolving. And having done that and your lens revolving, back to the actual light itself. And this simply entails turning on your micro valve, which lets the paraffin through from the tanks below. Paraffin runs up through the vaporizer, which of course is hot now from the methylated spirit. The paraffin vaporizes, goes up through into the
This
burner
looks a little
head
dangerous
and
itself.
comes out at the mantle as a vapor. You simply light the vapor and up the light comes. One big white ball of light.
I've always found the mantle things very interesting. I never could figure out how they actually would work. You gotta actually, when you get them new, you gotta burn them. That's how you get them started. So you gotta torch them, like. But it looks like it's so thin. It just looks like it would just burn away. But it makes that white, bright light. It's crazy.
Outside temperature 47, inside temperature 55, barometer 28.84, wind direction west, wind speed 7, weather conditions cloudy squalls, Round Island and Penennis lighthouses visible, Fleming's and Gunner's buoys invisible.
During duty on the light, every day, 7 days a week, a 24-hour watch is shared between the three keepers. Midnight until 4 in the morning, 4 a.m. to midday, then 4-hour shifts until midnight. A 56-hour week, none of it counting as overtime.
So this might sound a bit, gumptious or big-headed, but being on the Bishop Rock, you feel a slight cut above the other keepers, but probably I'm wrong. There's something a bit more special about the Bishop Rock, because this is the most southwesterly point of the British Isles. After this rock, there is nothing for 3,000 miles. There's nothing to look at to probably the ordinary layman, but well, to myself, it is beautiful. I don't know why, I can't express it in words, but something nice about it, This more so than any other station, really, because of its being so old-fashioned, so antique. Because the equipment on this station, apart from the engines, of course, are very, very old. And this also has a slight fascination for me, that the light which shines through the lens here was seen by the old masters on the old schooners. And this also appeals to me. What I see from the mainland, or from the island, should I say, looking at towards this place sometimes, the beams going around, I think to myself, hundreds of years ago, old ship's masters saw that very same light from that very same lens, from those very same oil burners.
10 past 10, time for one
Check
of these.
this radio out up on the shelf. Over there
Next
to
on the
your
Jimmy Young
right.
Show, Monday to Friday.
When it comes to cooking, then it's really each man for himself. That is regards breakfast, teas and suppers. But as we have the maintenance of... Come on, here she is. Come on. That's it. Come on. A bit more. There you are. The isolation
come every
on these
day.
places doesn't worry me. I've always been more or less a loner, as it were, all through my life. I never sort of gone around with the boys in gangs. I've never been one for dancing and things like this. So this sort of life does seem to suit me, as it were.
Yeah, just imagine being a keeper, say, what, when this business first built, you know. What do you like instead of that, did you?
Well, in some ways, I think they was a lot happier than what we are today.
Warnings of southwesterly gales.
Yeah, the cool radio.
Portland, Plymouth, Biscay.
That's that fog thing I was talking about. I don't know how that works.
Roger, time to get up. I'm still sounding for fog. Yeah. Bring up some deads and charges when you come up, alright? Okay, mate, on my way. Cheers.
Occasionally, when it's a wet and dirty, foggy night, and you're operating the fog signal, this I do not like doing. You're up on the lantern all the watch, especially of a middle watch. As I said, it's thick fog or misty rain. You've got to go outside on the gallery every 10 minutes and hang up your charges, the rain running off the glazing down the back of your neck. You're feeling thoroughly wet through, cold.
I guess you put your charge on that thing and it moves around, and then when it goes off, it makes maybe a spark or something. I don't know. It don't never show in this video.
This I do not enjoy doing.
Okay, I guess it did.
But it's got to be done. There again, I feel a slight sense of achievement. I think to myself, well, if I hadn't done this, a ship might come in pretty close and hit the rocks. If it hadn't been for me operating that fog signal and warning him that we're here.
The last lighthouse of England, and perhaps too the last of its kind. Modern lighthouses are sophisticated both in living conditions and machinery. Increasingly they are automated, unmanned. And for the bishop too, there are plans. What has remained the same for nearly 100 years will soon inevitably change.
I can see Jaws showing up. Hey guys, what'd you think about that? I cut a little bit here and there. Um, some of it was a little boring. I just tried to get the most exciting parts, and I probably missed a couple. But anyway, wasn't that awesome? 1973. So, the bishop. And would you work there? I think they said they do what, 3 months on or 3 weeks on. Anyway, it's a long time to be on the rock. All right, guys. I hope you all had a great Monday. I hope everybody's doing well and everybody's okay. Um, Hopefully the boat cable for my 1976 Tide Wave, I believe it's called, will be in tomorrow. So get that thing on, and we are hitting the water. I got my cameras and everything ready. So hopefully, been really looking forward to getting my boat on the water. It's already August, guys. Can you believe that? It's already August. So I still have a couple months to go out and fish. But I didn't think it'd take me this long. But I had to rewire it. Had to go through the carburetor, kinda, not all the way. I hope I got it good. It runs really good, and knock on wood. So hopefully we get it in the water and it continues to do that. But we just gotta get the steering, and we're gonna get it out in the water. First time since 1993. So it's gonna be an event. It really is. Hopefully she's watertight still. It looks at looking at the hull and everything looks good. So all right, I don't know. I got on this. Sorry guys. Sorry. I get started on it and on I go. All right. Until the next one, guys. You all have a great Tuesday. Bye guys.